Hey YouTube, what's good? Here with my main man CJ, newest barber to the headline Sun Lake location.
Yes,
all right, it's gonna be the first time I bless him with a cut. My man's been killing it. How long you been with us now?
Probably like a month.
Probably a month.
Yeah.
If you don't mind sharing with the people, how was your first month?
Oh man, it was amazing. Yeah, I made the most money I've ever made in my life.
That's what's up, man. So what you looking to get today, man?
I'm thinking cut the top so that like you leave a little bit of the yellow, and then debulk the sides a bit with a high taper.
You want to get a point cut so you can have some texture up here, but you want to take off the majority of the blonde tips that you got going on here?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, you want to do a high taper?
Yes, sir.
All right, so no C cups, and you want to debulk the sides. So what we think, what, like a 4?
Yeah,
like
that sounds good.
All right, let's get it. All right, guys, first thing I'm gonna do first is I'm actually gonna saturate the hair with some water. Because what I wanna do is I wanna separate the top from the sides. We're gonna debulk the sides, and we're gonna point cut the top where he's supposed to have in the back of his head. All right, I'm gonna take this straight forward, using my off thumb to separate the hair, and put that guideline right at my parietal. Do the same thing, opposite way. Now I got the hair from the top, separate from the hair on the sides. So when setting the guideline, how to identify the parietal accurately, put the comb in the back of someone's head, put your finger right in the middle of the comb. All right, your goal is to get the comb to go straight up and down. The moment it starts dropping off, all right, around the occipital bone area, all right, a little right above that is where you can set your initial guideline around the parietal, all right, and that's where I set my initial guideline at first. I'm gonna take a little bit of the hair that I just cut, grab some hair that I haven't cut yet, and I'm gonna continue that guideline all the way around. And you can know you're cutting the right hair because you can see the guideline that you already created from the hair that you already cut.
Hey, Bob, yo, legs over there. Obviously, got 3. I still got
One thing I like to encourage everyone to do is make sure you find a system that works for you. This is a system that I end up learning. Shout out to Barber Josh OP with DFS formula. It really simplifies shear cutting for me to ensure that I can get and stay up with the trends that's going on right now. All right, he said a 4 on the side, so I'm gonna go ahead and take my Tomb45 clipper. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this straight up to the guideline that I just created with my shear, debulking the sides all the way down. Coming right off the shape of his head, no crazy flick out, going right to that guideline, and as you can see, this cut is going right into that. So what got you in the barber, man?
Actually, my boy Ariel, he kind of put me on. We were friends in high school, and then he brought me out here, and we got a place together.
All right, guys. Next thing up, I'm going to go ahead and punch my guidelines in. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and punch my first one in using my Tomb45 trimmer. And I'm just going to come up like a half moon and over. Nothing too aggressive, guys. It doesn't have to be vicious. I don't need to do a big C on the side, right? Just enough so I know it's not a straight line. For me personally, this is my preference when it comes to doing a high taper, unless told otherwise by the client. Same process here, bottom, coming up, almost like a half moon, to the bottom of that sidebar. Go ahead and ball it out. And if you notice, I'm not taking it all the way up to my guideline. All right, and reason being is that I do not want to create a harsh guideline that I can't remove. Next up, I'm gonna come with my Tomb45 clipper, no guard all the way open, and put my initial guideline in. I like to make my guidelines at least a finger width. Everybody got different widths of their finger. All right, so for me, this gives me enough room to get a desired blend that I'm looking to get. In the beginning of my career, I used to do a lot of compressed fades. My recommendation on taking the ball line out, I start with open, then I drop it down halfway. Don't be scared to stretch the skin. All right, stretch the skin so that way you can feed your tool, AKA the clipper, the hair the proper way. Some people like to punch all their guidelines in first before they start fading. Me personally, I like to put them in and take them out as I go. All right, so that was halfway. Now I'm gonna drop it all the way and take out that last guideline. And then don't be scared to retrace your steps. All right, guys, since I already know I went with a 4 all the way around, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna start from the 3 and bring it all the way down now. Anything 2 and above, I do open close concept. So 2, 3, 4, all right, I'm gonna open close it. I like to do 1 or 2 passes, make sure I cut the hair that I was looking to cut, drop it down. 2, all the way open. Close. Now when it comes to my 0.5s and my 1.5, I like to start them off halfway. Now may you need to do some lever play in certain cases with that 1.5 halfway. Continue it. Now with my 1, I like doing the open middle close concept. So this is all the way open. And as you can see, that line is becoming more and more faint, AKA getting more and more faded. In these situations, when you're dealing with tight knit areas, don't be scared to use the teeth of your clipper. All right, that way you're not that way you're getting the desired fade that you're looking to get, but don't think you gotta always attack everything with your whole guard. All right, I'm dropping halfway, and then all the way close. Coming in with my 0.5 guard, start with the halfway. And then now I'm coming no guard all the way open, using the corners of my teeth to take out that last little faint line. One thing I love about the Tomb45 clipper is that it has 2 different RPM levels. I like to use the lower RPMs for detail work and more of the higher RPMs for fade work, for debulking. That's one thing that stands out about this clipper in comparison to the rest of the market, is that it has that capability in giving you that flawlessness when it comes to tightening your fades. All right, same thing we did on that side, we're gonna do on this side. So it's gonna be less talking, more action. So you guys just follow along. Starting off with my shaver. So CJ, what's your goals with barbering, bro?
Honestly, I would love to open up my own shop one day.
You want to open up your shop one day?
Just say,
That's what's up. What makes you want to do that?
honestly, just being surrounded by hair cutting.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So something you always liked?
Yeah. I just got into it, and then eventually it just started falling more and more in love with it.
You got it in your blood, bro.
Yeah, facts, bro.
What's your favorite cut so far?
To do?
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie, probably the blowout tapers.
Blowout tapers.
Yeah, I feel like I just have a system down with that works for me.
Yep. How'd you develop your system?
My boy Ariel, he also taught me some things, and then I tried to throw my little spin on it.
That's exactly what I encourage, man. Like, I used to watch Bazio and Matt's YouTube channel when I first got in, and I just took a lot of their systems and just made it my own. Yeah, man. Let's frame this bad boy, all right? And how you frame it is by giving it a lineup. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna line up the side of his neck. I'm not getting too cosmetic with it. I like to turn my RPMs up on my Tomb45 trimmer for it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold his ear down, get around his ear, using my pointer finger, making like a half moon type of motion. Again, don't get too cosmetic. I see too many barbers nowadays getting too cosmetic behind the ear. You don't have to get cosmetic, man. Stay natural with it. It's gonna look just as clean. All right, guys, next step, what I'm gonna do is fade in. All right, sides cut down. Now, I'm gonna show you exactly how you connect the top to the side. We're gonna part the hair straight down the middle. When it comes to connecting the top to the sides, now I split the top of the hair in 2 sections, 1 and 2. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna pull the hair straight down, okay? And I'm gonna connect any overhang hair that may be the case. So if I go here and I pull, all right, if I pull down, I want more weight. If I pull straight out, it's gonna be less weight. If I pull straight up, it's gonna be really light. All right, depending on what look you're trying to go. For this look, I'm gonna go straight towards the chest. All right, if I lift this hair up, I can see clearly where the guideline is that I set at the parietal when I first started doing this haircut. I'm gonna use that guideline, and now that's where I cut. Take some of the hair that I cut, some of the hair I need to cut, bring it down, pull it straight to my chest, connect right there as well. Take that all the way to the front. Hair that I cut, hair that I need to cut, guidelines right underneath there. All right, when I push this hair forward, you can see how now the top blends into the side perfectly. I'm gonna cut at angles, all right? If you wanted more of a blunt cut, we'll go right here with it. But because he wants texture, we'll cut at a point, all right? That creates inconsistency. That's what will create movement in his hair. All right, if not, his hair will just lay down flat and be boring. All right, so that's exactly what we're gonna do all the way back. And as you guys can see, we're taking off some of the blonde as well. We won't take it all off, because again, as we talked about in our consultation, we feel like it would be too short if I was to take it all the way down, but we're gonna take up as much as we can. So for me, I'm his sidebar, I'm gonna put it right there. Again, I'm punching, pulling away, punching, pulling away. All right, what we're gonna use now is we're gonna use the one and only indestructible clay by Tomb45. All right, this is a great hold product, all right? It gets reactivated with water. With heat, it swells up the hair, therefore brings out the texture more. So what I like to do is I like to apply it to damp hair. All right, his hair's already damp, and all you need is about a dime size worth. A little bit goes a long way in this situation, okay? And all you're gonna do is massage it into your palms first, spread it out evenly, all right? And then massage it into your client's hair. And all I'm gonna do is just scrunch up the hair. All right, my boy. There you go.
Oh yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, man, you're like a different person now, man. It's like you make money now. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's fine.
Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
Proud of you, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
Let's get it.
Appreciate it, man.